What's up, guys?
Wednesday Night Live.
Wednesday Night Live. Bah, bah, bah. We're here. Hey, thanks for joining us. If you guys played last week, Family Feud was feuding.
Raucous.
Raucous is the word.
Right.
Raucous is the word. Well, hey, we are glad that you can join us tonight. I lost track of how many Wednesday nights we've done this.
That's
19?
That's a sign of the times.
19 or 20?
Yeah.
I was shocked when we did 4.
Yeah, that's right.
Now we're up there maybe to 20 of them. Hey, so every week after this, a Thursday or the weekend, me and Chris kind of get together and we say, hey, what are we going to talk about next? And we were so blessed when we did the Fruit of the Spirit series, and I think we have a series starting up next week, which will be really good. But we talked about this week and just said, hey, what do we want to do? And so this Sunday, if you don't know, this Sunday is our Senior Sunday, our senior recognition.
There
There you go.
Is that the right song?
Yeah,
Okay. Yes.
I
What's
think
it
it is.
called? Fanfare for the Common Man?
Sure.
Hey.
You were a music minor.
Come on.
Anyways, it's our senior recognition. We were going to do it back in late April, and then life happens.
Yeah. Well, pandemic happened.
Yeah, sure. That's a part of life now.
Sure.
And so we decided let's keep pushing it back. And so this Sunday,
Because you wanted to be able to do
I
it.
I didn't want to do a drive-through
yeah.
one. I didn't want to do. So this was the last one this is the last Sunday that we could do it. So we decided let's have it this Sunday. So if you're going to be watching with us online this Sunday at 9:30, I will be preaching, and we're going to have our seniors on stage, saying a prayer over them, giving them the Bible, and then Sunday night we're still having our banquet. We still get a chance to kind of bless the families, so we are excited about that. So as me and Chris were talking about tonight, we said, what if we invited some of our seniors to have a conversation with us? And so we have 3 girls. We have 3 of our seniors that have graduated, and they said we'd be happy to come and have a conversation.
Did they actually say they would be happy to do it?
They
or was
said,
it,
I think I got more the text of, sure, I can do it if you need me to.
if you need me
If
to.
you need me to, I will do it. But we have 3 of our 7 seniors graduating that are just joining us tonight that can make it. And so we're going to have a conversation. So for many of you watching, you may know these girls. You may know their families. You may were there when they were born. And for some of you that are watching this, you may not know them at all. And so it's a good it's a good time to just get to know about them more, know about them growing up here at Homewood, being members here at Homewood, and also being a teenager during a pandemic, being a
Just
senior
alive right now.
during a pandemic, or just being a senior in 2020.
Yeah.
When did you graduate high school?
2003.
03.
17 years
So
ago.
did I. 17. So
Seems like a really
it's a little
long
different.
time
So
ago.
there are, we had this conversation in the office the other day about me being the youth minister. I'm in the world of students all the time.
Yeah.
You graduating high school 17 years ago, you were like, I'm not in this world at all.
Yeah.
And so Chris was actually really excited to
Yeah.
have this conversation with you guys about that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I've got little kids, so I want a little bit of a preview as to what's coming for us. But really, it's just cool to hear what you guys have experienced, what you're looking forward to, what you're not looking forward to, all those sorts of things. So I'm very grateful that you are doing this.
Yes, this is not easy. I will say this. It's not easy to come up on stage and have a conversation. When we were talking earlier, they're like, what camera do we look at? Or like, just don't worry about it. Just look at us and have that. So why don't we just go down the row? Tell us about yourself, your name, your parents' name, your sibling's name, and then just, why don't we just start there?
Okay, I'm Anna K. Clark. My parents are Jay and Vanya Clark, and then I have 2 older brothers, Jack and Will.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm Emmy Cape. I'm the daughter of Kristen and Greg Cape, and I have a brother named Carter.
I'm Sarah Beth Stair. My parents are Donna and Steven Stair, and I have a sister named Caroline.
There you go. So we got Anna Kay, Emmy, and Sarah Beth. It's fine. Yeah, there you go. Don't just tap it because they can hear it. It might be a little loud. He's up in the box going, don't tap the mic.
Sorry.
I've gotten in trouble with that too. We live and learn and have that going in there. So we got 3 of y'all. where y'all going to college? I know the answer to this. One of you can answer for all of you because it's the same college.
Harding.
Going to Harding. Going
Heading
to
to Arkansas.
Heading to Arkansas.
Where is it in Arkansas? Cersei.
Cersei, Arkansas.
They're going to revoke my Church of Christ card for balking at that question.
It's okay. It's okay. So all three of you are going to Harding. I have never been to Harding. I've never
Same here.
stepped foot on the campus, and I should. We have a lot of students that go to Harding, especially recently.
It seems like a really long drive.
It's like 6 hours.
no good way to get there, it
Five,
seems like.
5.5 depends
Five
on
and a
how
half.
fast you drive.
Do you go to
How
Memphis?
fast do you drive?
Oh, okay. Speed limit is how fast we drive. You guys go through Memphis, then just like, and then you go over. Okay, well, at least you get to go through Memphis, and probably
So
Tupelo.
how did you pick Harding? Was there a family connection, a specific endeavor that you were looking to
Yeah.
take on at Harding? Sports, anything like that?
My dad went there, and then both my older brothers. And so last summer I did this thing where you go for 2 weeks and like take some college classes and meet some people. They're thinking about going there. So once I went there, I found a roommate and made a bunch of friends and stuff. And so that's when I knew I wanted to go there.
Cool.
And you also got a scholarship, sports scholarship,
Yes.
to throw a spear.
What?
Yes, javelin.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called javelin. Not a spear. I say it's a spear. But yeah, she got a
That
scholarship.
sounds way cooler.
Yeah, it's
I mean, they're both cool, but
yeah. So you got a scholarship to go do that, but you were going there regardless if you got that or not, right? So awesome.
it's a lot of family history.
None of my parents went there.
Neither of them.
Oh wait, right, neither of them.
None.
None of the 7 or 8 parents I have went to Harding.
Only two. But how I came to find Harding was these two, and also the upper classmen, I guess they're considered that to me now,
Yeah.
who have also gone there, like Will and Lilybeth and Susanna and
And Emma Rose.
Emma
Yeah,
Rose and Hannah Hall. There's
we got a
That's a
host.
long
whole lot.
list.
We got a host.
That's a
of
lot.
student
Do
ministry.
you send kids anywhere else? They're all going to Harding.
They all go. They,
Seems like
they
it.
all go to Harding.
That's fair. Are you on the
go there.
payroll?
I should be.
All right.
Should be. SB.
Yeah, my parents didn't go there either, so it's not a family thing. But I guess I first heard about it from Anna Kay because she'd been saying for years she was gonna go there. I remember she had like a binder that was like Harding in like second grade. But
Got to start early.
yeah, I also did the 2-week camp thing that she was talking about. Sorry, and it was like staying in the dorm and
Yeah.
being on campus all that time and like meeting people. I just really loved it. And I decided I wanted to go there.
That's a cool thing. I didn't do that. Where you get to go early, like a
Yeah.
perspective, just see if you like it.
You get credits.
And you get college
It's
credits.
really good.
That's a good deal.
Didn't get that at all.
I
That's
did
pretty
not
cool.
have the pleasure of doing that.
You got to take some.
You're going in blind.
I
Going in
know.
blind. All right, so you're heading to college. You guys have already graduated high school. What is something that you are not just to Harding, but it may be, specific to Harding? What is something that you guys are just excited about going to college? What's something that you're just looking forward to?
I'm excited a lot about meeting new people and going somewhere so far away. Like, none of my friends from school are going there or anything. And so I think it'll be really exciting to have a completely new group and like people that come from a lot of people will come from a similar background to be with people that are like me.
For
That's
different
exciting.
areas.
Yeah.
So there's not a single person.
There's one girl from my school, but I don't know her well.
Oh, one.
Like,
so
we're not. I've talked to her like twice, but she seems nice.
So we have. We're going to talk about this later, but we'll talk about it now. So we got 3 different high schools.
Yeah.
Right. So you went to Vestavia,
Yes.
Homewood, and Hoover. 3 very large schools. And
Huge
there's
schools.
only 2 of you going. And then
One. I'm the only
you're the
one.
only one going to Harding. And you're the only one going to Harding. That is crazy.
That is crazy.
Wait, what
Like
about
just like
that
how
guy?
big.
Is he going to Homewood?
Oh,
yeah,
Wayne?
Wayne.
Yeah.
But he doesn't go to Homewood anymore.
Oh.
Oh, no more.
Technicality.
Technicality. He doesn't go there.
count for
All
sure.
right. All right. Emmy, what are you excited about just to be off in college?
Well, to be honest, high school just sort of was not the place where I thrived. And so, honestly, I'm hoping and I'm betting college is just going to be this amazing place where I'm going to thrive and I'm just going to be this person who I really want to be instead of sort of, I don't know, closing sort of some of my personality I did in like high school. Like I didn't completely show my personality, and I feel like at Harding I can do that. So
You can just reinvent and be whoever you want to be.
I get
But that's pretty
totally.
yeah.
But I would say that was probably similar to a lot of us,
Yeah.
right? Of like not fully thinking you can be yourself in high school because of various reasons of wanting to fit in or this or that or not wanting to stand out. You know, I think when I preached before about like my whole goal was to just not be seen.
Yeah.
Right? Like I just didn't want to be seen. And so you did that. And so I felt like college was a good place that you can be like, all right, this is really who I am and go do that. So that's pretty cool that you were excited about that. That's pretty awesome.
I think like you have so much history too with these people that you've grown up with, and it's like you get an identity assigned to you at a pretty young age.
Oh, yeah.
And it's tough to shake like your people's perception of you. But college, man, it's like a clean break. You can do whatever you want to do. You can be
For
whoever you want
sure.
to be.
You get
So,
like a nickname when you're in like 4th grade and it'll stick forever.
I'm telling you.
and it'll stick forever.
I'm telling you.
I was lucky that my last name was Peach, so I just got Peach all the time.
Peach.
Pretty
I was
easy.
not so lucky in soccer. My nickname was Faceplant.
Well, there you go.
See?
You can just leave that behind, and no one will
You
ever.
still live up to that though.
And no one will know. No one will know. Just don't make that your email address.
Faceplant at harding.edu.
All right, Anna Kay, what are you excited about?
A lot of the same things that they were talking about. Mostly, I think it'll be fun to do track and get those friendships. And I want to do like a social club and make friends that way. And I don't know, I just think it will be exciting to just have a whole new experience and be out of high school.
All right. Well, let's go back down the row. What are you least looking forward to? Is there anything about college? I don't know how long you did college. I did college for longer.
Do you have an extended term?
Victory lap.
Victory lap. You got to
did
get
a
that.
victory
You got to
lap.
come around the bend one more time.
One more time.
One more college football season.
More college football at MTSU. I did it 5 times. So you have a little more experience in college. What is something that you are just not looking forward to? Something like, man, I'm just dreading this. Because maybe we can shine some light on it.
Definitely going to be the difficulty of the classes. I think that's going to be a rude awakening, especially since not having to do anything since March.
That's true. That's
You have to learn how to be in school again.
a whole layer. Yeah.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, same. My first semester, I don't know why, I decided to challenge myself by doing chem and biology. But also, I guess just being a Southern girl, I love me some SEC football games. And
There you
so
go.
not like being the like, big university football games, but
You can still watch them.
They may not have them anyway.
That's also
Yeah,
okay.
thanks,
Okay.
SB. We're,
Shut
all
the
right.
door on it there.
way
To
to be
make you
party
feel better.
pooper.
To make you feel better. We might not even have that anyway. So you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Thank you.
All right.
I was gonna say, wait, were you done?
I don't know, was I?
Sure.
No, I'm done. I'm done.
I guess Harding being so far away kind of is a hard thing for me. Like I can't just come home on the weekend
Yeah.
really. I mean you can, but it'd be a pain.
It's 6 hours.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll just be hard to not be able to like see my parents or anything for that long.
Yeah.
And like a lot of my friends are going to Alabama and Auburn, and so they're talking about like, oh, let's come home this weekend and
Yeah.
And that will
come
be a little
to
bit
me.
will be a little bit harder, but you guys will have a whole
Yeah, but I feel like it's a good
Van
thing
ride
because
coming
everyone will
home.
like be on campus together, and probably with COVID we shouldn't be leaving anyway.
I was about to say, to make you feel better, I don't think we can go home.
Yeah, you might have to stay.
Fixed.
So
Fixed.
Thank you.
two of you mentioned just kind of jumping into school and kind of a new learning environment. Do you know what you're planning to study?
Your
And
major.
I changed my major several times.
That's
So,
mine 3.
but I'm still interested to know where you're planning to start and if you have any particular interest in that.
And if
that
you
you
don't,
want to
that's
study.
fine.
Yeah, that's definitely cool.
So I'm undecided right now, but I'm doing what's called exploratory studies, and so
Sounds
I'm
awesome.
taking an accounting
Like Indiana
class.
Jones?
Indiana Jones is what I was
Yeah.
thinking. Yeah. Are you gonna wear like a hard hat and a light? Like,
Go around temples.
But I'm just taking an accounting class.
She's like, no, it's
I don't-
accounting.
I don't
It's
get that
accounting.
reference, so
you don't get the Indiana
I'm
Jones
leaving.
reference.
I'm leaving. I'm so old.
You don't know who Indiana Jones is?
I know who Indiana Jones is, but I've never seen it. Watched it or anything.
All right. It's okay. It's okay. You're doing exploratory studies where you get to figure out what you like.
Good for
Yes, so I'm taking an accounting class, and then some that go towards like social work
you. Nice.
and possibly just business in general. So
Okay.
I'll just see what I like.
See what you
and-
like and then go from there. I
I
like
think
that.
that's smart.
Well, I'm majoring in exercise science. I want to be a physical therapist.
There you go.
I'm actually shadowing one this summer, and
Oh,
so
sweet.
but I might change it to medical humanities. I don't know. I'm in between.
You got the whole world in front of you. It's crazy.
Really do.
It's crazy.
I'm not 100% decided either, but my advisor's like has me in what I told her I was like thinking about. So I'm kind of in like special education.
Yeah.
So I'm in a lot of education classes and that, and I don't know, I just got into that. In my high school, I like volunteered in the special ed class a lot, and I just have always loved that. So I'm just trying it out.
Yeah. Well, you thrived when we had our local mission trip to Camp Ability up in Murfreesboro, and I know that you really just enjoyed that and you really thrived in that
did.
area. So awesome. And don't feel bad if you change. Don't feel bad if you change your majors.
2 or 3 times.
Two
It's
or three
fine.
times. It happens.
Credits can be moved around. It's great.
There you go. So credits can be moved around, or they can't. So
Or you waste money.
you waste money.
Thank you.
I hope not.
All right. So for you guys, I know your backgrounds, and we talked about your parents, but kind of tell me your history at Homewood. How long have you been going here? Your parents been going here? Just kind of let us know a little about yourselves here at Homewood.
Well, I've been going here since I was born. My parents met in the singles group here.
Awesome.
So then all 3 of my brothers and I, we all grew up here. So
So you've been in this room a lot.
yes.
There we go.
So, on a different note, I moved to Alabama in 2008,
Okay.
and so
From where?
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
All right.
So
So you've been here for
12 years.
12 years.
Almost 13.
almost 13. So, I mean, so you've been here the vast majority of your life as well
Oh yeah,
has been here.
except for 6 years.
Yeah. Except for 6 years. Sbee?
I also have been here my whole life. My parents were like friends with her parents in college, and then my mom was.
Yeah.
And then I think they were all like in that group together. I think my parents were like dating when they came here. I don't really know.
But it
But-
was way before you.
Yes.
It was way before
So
you.
always been here.
So we have some rich history at Homewood. How long have you been here?
2012 years?
All right.
Come on.
All right, right. And then I've been here 7. So you guys basically are the same, or you for sure trump us having your history here at Homewood. What are some things, is there any big memories that you have just growing up here, just at church? What are some of the events or some of the memories that you have that just really kind of, that you think maybe shaped you, or that you just really remember, just growing up here?
I remember my favorite event that we always used to do was the camp out on the lower field, where everyone would come and just bring tents and we'd stay overnight. I always remember looking forward to that.
We got to bring that back.
Yeah, we should.
We got to get rid of the
I was about to
ants,
say that.
Post-COVID.
That was so fun.
Get rid of the ants and the corona,
and then we're good.
and we can do camp out.
There we go.
And
So
mosquitoes.
the campouts. I've heard multiple
That's
people
cool.
say
And,
that.
and trunk or treat.
Oh, I absolutely love trunk
Trunk or treat's fun.
Fun fact, I did the talent show one year. I played my trumpet. If anybody remembers that.
There we go.
Did you win?
Oh, no, I was awful.
But this is a place where you can just shine. You can just show your true
Hey,
self, and we're
Be
going to love you
appreciated.
regardless.
Yes.
You get that.
For me, probably would be Casey Camp
Yeah.
or like Camp Glow, and it was like the camp that the Children's Ministry used to do. It was so fun, and like we all were at that for years.
Yeah.
was
Having
fun.
those camp memories, and the trunk or treats, and The Easter egg hunts, I'm sure, were probably pretty big. VBS, I'm sure was big. Is there any other big church memories that you guys can think of just like things that have happened over here in your lifetime that you can really be like, oh, this was a cool moment, or that really kind of stands out? It's not on our sheet, guys. I just kind of made that one up.
Curveball.
I mean, everything we've done with the youth group has been amazing. Like, there's so many trips.
Yeah.
It's like, it really makes the summer, and it's been weird this year, like, not
It's been a little
going
weird.
anywhere.
It's been a little
And I
weird.
felt
but-
so bad. I haven't been to like anything this year because of like soccer and show choir. So I like absolutely truly love going to like the retreats and like Winterfest and Impact and all those things.
Yeah.
I think it's been it's been really good having like a close friend group at church that's like different from school friends, because I mean we all go to different schools and
Yeah.
a lot of us do, like it's from all different schools in Birmingham, and it's just been really good to be able to like get away from
Yeah.
school stuff and be together at church.
Yeah, because I have a lot of friends who like their whole friend group goes to church together, and then their youth group is just cliques, and not everyone is friends with each other. And that's something I've loved. Like, we don't have that at all. Everyone's just friends with each other.
Yeah, I would concur. I would agree with that. That's what I love, that people, so many different schools, different areas, just kind of coming together and having fun. I know this summer's been weird, especially for a student ministry, standpoint. We did not do one overnight trip this whole entire summer. But it's been different, but it's still been fun. I think it's still been impactful. I still enjoy it. And
More choice of
Impact.
words.
There we go. One of the things that I think that Homewood I think a big identity of Homewood, and you can attest to this as well, is I think one of the draws that we have is that we are a family, right? And so just what you talked about of there's no these cliques, it's just kind of we're all here. It's kind of this family, and I think that bleeds over to our bigger church as well. That we treat this like a family, like we're there for each other and we love each other and we go through the good times and the bad times and everything else. Is there a person? Is there someone in here? Not like literally in here. There's no one. But is there someone here at church that you kind of look at or look up to, and maybe they know they're a mentor of yours, or just someone that you at least can see from afar and go, man, I just really like what they're doing, and I love their spirit, and just someone that you look up to.
For me, I wouldn't pick one single person. I just think I feel like I have a bunch of extra moms, just like people that come on trips with us, like to Winterfest, whether it's Sherry Blank or Missy Cuthbert, or like Fall Retreat when Casey Graham comes, and
Yeah.
like Laura Johnson. Just there are plenty of like mom figures that I have that really just shaped me and that I can look up to and have their priorities straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And Kay couldn't have said it any better. Like every single one of y'all at this church has just been, I don't know, delightful. And also, like the first year I went to Honduras, I went by myself. Nobody else from my family went, but like the Presley family like adopted me, and I was like their child for that trip. And so anybody and anyone will like take you up as like their adoptive child,
Yeah.
and I just love that.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I love we do that for that trip. If you're a certain age, you have to have somebody that kind of says, hey, I'll take you. And, for the Presleys to do that. And you're right. That's always a fun thing every year to have younger people go on the trip and seeing, no, they're part of our family now, and we're going to take care of them. It's really cool.
I have a similar Honduras thing.
Yeah.
When I was there last year, I got like really sick on the last day, and it was like Amy Castleman and Jennifer Presley and Ivy Bray were all just like taking care of me, and it was so nice. And just all of them, like NK was saying, they're all just like motherly to us and take care of us, and it's a really great like family thing.
Yeah, we talk about this from this stage and from our parent classes to our faith and home classes, that have to have this 5-to-1 ratio. 5 adults to every one student, every one kid, from the youngest to the seniors. You need a 5-to-1 ratio, and we can't have 5 youth ministers to everyone or 5 children's ministers. But when you come on a trip, when you volunteer at VBS, or when you volunteer at camp, or you volunteer in Honduras, or you go on a trip, or you're driving the bus for one of my trips, or you're a cook for one of my trips, that's not your job.
Yeah.
We are happy you're doing that for us, but you're one of the 5. And I love hearing stories of that, of all of these moms and all of these just families and people that are just a part of your life. And it's not one, it's, man, I got so many I have to choose from. So that's really cool to hear. That's really cool to hear. And so for you as being, I don't know what camera I'm looking at, for you to be a volunteer, come and volunteer. You make an impact. You make a huge impact on so many people's lives, even if you are, well, all I'm doing, I'm just holding this cone for a game. No, you're much more than that, right? You are much more than that. And so that's really good to hear. It's really good to hear in that. Okay, so let's go on. We got a few more minutes. Let's jump in here to maybe a little tougher questions. We kind of learned from you guys about your background and about being here at Homewood and your families and your schooling and all that stuff. But it for the past few years, and I'd say just in general, we've lived in a crazy world. We've just, not just a pandemic, but even before the pandemic, there's a lot of people that haven't been in high school in 17 years, that haven't been here, and they don't know what it's like to be a high school student in the 2000s.
Well, and it's different too. I wasn't a high school student in Birmingham where you've got thousands and thousands of kids at your school. So I'm really interested to know, how do you find your identity amongst this sea of people? How do you find your group of people that you can connect with and share your school life with? And really what we talked about, it's how do you find your path in this world as a person of faith in not only the crazy times that we're in right now with everything going on, but just as a high school student in this type of environment?
Well, for me, it was basically just getting involved in any way that I can. So I did cross country, and my brother was the one who convinced me to do it because he had found such a great group of friends through that. And so I was like, okay, I'll do it, and I did. And just everyone that does cross country, especially at Hoover, I can attest for, are just the most genuine people, because no one that is willing to put themselves through that kind of torture is going to be a bad person. So I've just found really great friendships through that. And then also doing junior class officers and senior class officers, I've found most of my closest friends through that too. And also just I didn't really establish a close friend group until my sophomore year. And a lot of them were kids that I went to elementary school with and middle school with, but we weren't as close then because, well, A, we couldn't drive, but also instead of trying to make my connections early on and regretting it later, I just waited, and I could tell the kind of people I was surrounding myself with better, so that when I did establish a solid friend group, I knew that I was surrounding myself with good people.
Yeah.
Sounds like you got some good advice somewhere along the way.
Yeah. Good job, Jay and Vanya.
I didn't have the privilege of going to preschool with everybody in Homewood, but I was able to make some friendships, a lot of friendships, with just, my parents might say, over-involving myself, but with show choir and soccer and cross-country and band and environmental club, key club, the list goes on. But I feel anywhere I went, I was able to make friends, and especially in show choir because,
Yeah, you're there a lot of the time. I mean, you're there a bunch, and it's a very close-knit
dedicate
family.
a ton of time. Saturdays, 24 hours long at competitions, and yeah.
Wow.
I actually also found a lot of my best friends in cross country, but I started in 7th grade, and in 7th and 8th grade, I got a tight friend group in cross country, and then in high school, they all quit. and I didn't. And so that was hard for me, but it like let me become close with people in other grades, which was really good for me. And I stayed best friends with the people that I was friends with in middle school from cross country. And so that just like showed me how tight those friendships were, because we were able to stay together even though like we didn't necessarily have any classes together and we weren't running together every day anymore. But like the people that I'm best friends with now senior year, a lot, like over like half of them are my friends from 7th grade from cross country, so that's been really good. But yeah, just like doing a sport together really bonds you, I think.
Yeah.
But I was also gonna say just about like having faith in like a big school like that,
Yeah.
and especially just like where we live. Most people are gonna say they're a Christian. In my experience, like most of the people that I've been with at school, and so I think it's really hard because like everyone, it's not like you need to necessarily like preach the gospel to people in your classes, because a lot of people already like know them. But I just think it's important to try to like set a good example despite that, because I mean people don't always make the right decisions, like myself included, but just trying to like do the right thing and be a good example.
Yeah. That's. I mean, that's
We talk about that a lot. How, you know, being in the South, you know, at least cultural identity and Christianity is very common, but actions and behavior and how that faith is actually lived out, now that is a whole different thing. And so that's cool to hear
and then
you
just
say
kind of
that.
saying it, but
Yeah.
actually doing it.
Yeah.
Right. And so even coming from, I don't know how many seniors did you have in your school? Do you know? Ish. Do you know how many you had?
700.
700.
I think mine's like 500.
300.
300.
So small. So small.
I
So
know.
small. I had 70. It's 70.
That's pretty good.
Graduate?
I think Katie graduated with 30, 40. She might tell me this wrong, but really small school.
Yeah.
I think I was like in the 200 to 300 range.
300?
Yeah.
And I went to a private Christian school, and it still is the same thing of like, well, everyone here is Christian, but having to kind of navigate what you can say you are, or your family says they are, or they go to church, or they don't go to church, but how do they really act and how they really do that? And I think it was really cool what you said, and it's cool for parents like you who have Charlie, who's a little bit older, like the friends they make
Yeah.
in 6th and 7th and 8th grade are very valuable to go into that school and like, hey, we're still friends. We still know each other and
Have a little support system.
have a little support
Yeah.
system, and they can keep you in check and they can really be there for you and you grow up. So parents with younger kids, like it's important who your kids hang around and their friendships and that. So that's really neat, to hear.
To add on to like the faith and, well, I mean, I can't really say my school's big, but a moderate big. And
It's bigger than theirs.
true.
Well, Justin's.
45 times bigger than mine.
Before we started First Priority, I went to FCA.
Yeah.
And it was great because it started in this tiny classroom
Yeah.
and the entire classroom was filled. Every inch of the floor was filled with people sitting down. And so we had to go to a bigger room, and then that room got filled with more people. And then we had to go into like this huge room. And it was just great to see how many people went to FCA. And so I don't think it's that big of a problem finding somebody with faith at Homewood.
Yeah, and what I like what you said is that you put yourself in that area to be surrounded by those people. Like you can come back and say, I'm sure they are, but having that big initiative to say, no, I'm going to join FCA. I'm going to join this club. I'm going to do this because I want to surround myself with good people. And so just having that awareness to know that it's important who you hang around. And even if it's for 20 minutes in the morning on a Wednesday or whatever it is, like you still have that friends and you still have those people that can just help you out in that. Well, let's go to the last question. We got just a few more minutes and we could talk here. So as we've already talked here, just a little bit of this summer has been weird for a student ministry standpoint, right? Like we haven't got to do much. And then really looking at your senior year, right? Like this whole COVID thing has kind of wrecked your senior year. How have you taken that all in? How has that kind of just impacted you in a good way, in a bad way? And then also, how have you seen God work in all this, in all that aspect, right? That's
Yeah, it's
a
like it's like the transition from high school to college, from your parents' home to the world. Like that's already the weirdest time in your
Bonkers.
life. And now we've added this layer of
if
the
you touch
weirdest
something,
time in any of
Yeah.
our lives.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Over the top of this like major transition in your life, like you're experiencing something that you will never forget.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's really interesting. And I'm curious,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
Justin
just like-
said, how that is through your eyes and like how you see
Yeah.
God working and moving through that.
You don't have to answer it all at one time. We can have
Yeah.
a little conversation about these things.
Well, it definitely opened my eyes. I think the main thing that I've realized throughout this time is that everything is not as big of a deal as it seems.
Oh,
Because there's so many things that I was looking forward to senior year that got taken away from me, and in the end, I'm like, oh well, like it wasn't as big as a deal as I thought it was gonna be. I mean, I did still end up getting a graduation, which I really enjoyed that, and that was nice. But like, I would have been fine without it. Like, I don't think that
still got
the
your
world would have
diploma.
ended if I hadn't
Yeah.
walked across the stage.
Yeah.
So it just made me realize that how out of line my priorities are, and a lot of people around me just like those things don't matter, and you can live without them, and there are other things that are more important.
I think that is so wise of you at 18 to get that, because I wish I had that when I was 14 and 15 and 18 and 25. Like, right?
Yeah.
Like, this, when you take a bigger scope back and kind of look at something of what was the biggest issue in my life at this, and not to take that back, I mean, it is a big issue, and there are big fun things that are, but when you kind of take a step back, and I like what you said about your priorities, when you kind of set your priorities right and go, yeah, I'm sad I didn't get to do it, but my life is not ruined because I didn't get to have this or this or this. And I just think that's wise to kind of have that perspective
Yeah, for sure.
of it.
I should have talked to you during quarantine because I had a lot of tears. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When one thing got canceled, I'd cry. Then another thing got, I'd be like, oh, I'd cry again. Yeah, it was a lot of tears. But now I'm looking forward to college, and I have to say, shout out to my mom. Thank you, because she really helped me. She's like, it's okay, just pray about it. And so she was a big help.
Well, and to go back, not to take away your sadness. That's very sad. Like that you don't get to do some of these things, but I like that talk of, well, pray about it, it's okay. And then now you're on the other side, again, having a perspective going, oh, I'm excited for the new start. And you're excited for the new college. And so, yeah, it's cool.
Hopefully this time after college, I will actually get a graduation. 'cause-
Homewood didn't have a graduation.
Well, this usually happens once every 100 years or so you'll probably be good.
Fingers
Hopefully.
crossed.
You will probably
Hopefully.
be good.
I hope that that's not immortalized on the internet and we have another one of these right when
Come on, you just jinxed us.
Wait, knock on.
If it happens again, then it's Chris's fault.
Yeah, just delete that clip.
Sorry. I also was like really sad about it. Like Emmy was saying, it's sad for all that to be taken away. Like when you're waiting for it at the end of the year, or like what we waited
Not
for.
just waiting
all
for it at the
throughout
end of the year. You've been waiting for it
Yeah.
for like
your
18
entire
years.
education.
Yeah,
Oh,
or,
yeah.
or
But-
since you've been in high school, of like, I want to have all these things when I'm a senior.
But I also think, like, in the end, like, it ends up, I mean, yes, it's terrible and sad, but there are good things about it, too. Like I was saying earlier, I'm worried about being away from home and, like, away from family and friends, but it's given me so much extra time at home with my
Yeah.
parents and my sister and, like, with my hometown friends. So it's not, like it's not the end of the world. Like it ends up being okay because we lost a lot of memories we would have had, but like we made new ones instead.
Yeah, that's very wise. We have.
Y'all got a good head on your shoulders.
got
Right?
good heads.
I don't know how well I would have.
Oh, we had a lot of time to think about it.
It's a lot of time for reflection. You know what? Granted, I will be dead and gone when this happens, but I'm like excited for y'all to be super old ladies and talking about like, well, I graduated the year of the COVID, and you will never forget like this really super weird time.
Well, back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day, we had the coronavirus.
Yeah, our kids can never complain about having to go to school. So we didn't get to.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what it's like not to go to school.
What's the old? Would your parents just say? I used to walk uphill, both ways in the snow.
Y'all be
you
like,
could be like,
I used to walk uphill with a mask on
And the blazing heat.
and I had to
blazing
be
heat.
on
with hand sanitizer.
Zoom chat for 9 hours a day, learning math.
Let me tell you about e-learning.
Well, it's crazy. So how in all of this, if we kind of finally wrapped it up, is what's one way that you've kind of see God work through this last season, this last year, this last 4 months of your life? And any, which you guys gave really good wisdom.
Yeah.
But is there just a moment, and you don't have to answer if it doesn't jump out at you, but what is some way that you've seen God work during this pandemic and during this time?
I just think he's been very much more like prevalent to me. Like I don't know. It's just I felt more like I'm noticing things more, I guess is the right way to say that. And there was one night when me and some of my friends met in a parking lot and like set out some chairs like apart. And because of what we're in, it's a lot easier to have like deep talks because we're going through something so like significant. And so I can get uncomfortable like talking about religion and stuff with my friends, but because we were able to like have that deep talk so naturally, like it was easy to work religion in and like talk about it with my friends. So it was just nice to have that opportunity present itself a little bit more naturally than it usually would because of the situation.
Yeah, because the situation we're in. Yeah.
Well, recently, I think, when was it? Sunday, right?
Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, we had prayer stations, and one of the interns, Watkins, said to be always in constant prayer, and I never like really thought about that. And so, I mean, yes, that is what I should be doing, but I just haven't been good about that, and that was a good, healthy reminder for me.
Yeah. Absolutely. You have more time. Right? And just kind of knowing that you're in that time and that time to spend with God. Kind of have that. Awesome.
I think that like going to church on Sunday and Wednesday can sometimes become like too much of a routine and just like going through the motions, and it being taken away has just showed me so much like how much I noticed the absence of it and that I miss like being here and singing together and all of that. Just like having a church family, and it's been really hard being away from it, and I don't think I'll take it for granted again because it's really different not being together, like worshiping together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all are awesome.
I definitely realized it humbled me in such a way because obviously like, God is all powerful, all this stuff, but like the world has stopped. Like when everything started to shut down, like that's when I realized like COVID, like the power that COVID has throughout this time, like that made me put in perspective how much power God has. If this thing can have so much control over my life, like I just need to sit back and remember that God's in control of my life and that like I don't need to take the reins because obviously I can't handle everything on my own.
Well, I'm not going to preach this week. I'm just going to have them up here Sunday.
That's smart. That's a smart move.
That's a smart move.
You know, it's cool to me. I mean, it's not cool. I hate that like this has all happened at this like junction of your life, but like we had to go almost 40 years before we realized that everything could change just like that.
Yeah.
Kind of in general, life has continued on. There's been a few moments where things have changed in ways.
2K?
9/11, you know,
9/11,
like
yeah,
things
for
like
sure.
that. But you guys have had this really impactful experience to know that like society and the way we do things is sort of fragile, but like there are things that are true and that you can believe in and stand on that don't have anything to do with, you know,
Yeah.
what all these other institutions that we put together. So I think that's really interesting. It's really impressive to hear how you've processed it, and you're much more mature than I
I
am
was at 18.
right now,
Yeah.
or definitely than I would have been when I was graduating high school. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, I thank y'all for joining us. I know that y'all might have been a little worried about it being awkward or weird, but we enjoyed having a
And maybe it
conversation with
was.
y'all. And so we're happy that you were here this Sunday, 9:30.
It's going down.
It's going down. We got
Senior
our
Sunday.
Senior Sunday. Hey, when
Bum, 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 bum.
we're just
One more
gonna
time.
have you here doing that as they walk on stage.
Please.
There we go.
Would you like that?
Would you like that?
As a replacement for your graduation that didn't
Oh, thank
happen.
you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
To have that. So we typically will send out or on that Sunday morning, we will typically have a handout that has
Fancy
a bio and always pictures. We don't have church on Sunday morning. So we have some printed out that we're going to give to your families and for our banquet. But what we're going to do for the whole church, expect an email tomorrow. We put it all in email form. So you
Killing it.
So you still get to learn
These
about
faces.
These faces. You still get to learn about our seniors and what they're doing. It'll all be online. Expect that tomorrow. Also, on that email and on our Friday email, you guys will also get their email addresses, because we typically for a month, I need your email addresses when y'all leave. Typically we have a table set out for 4 weeks where you get to write them letters and do that. Well, we ain't got no church. We ain't got no tables. We're not going to touch the same pen. So we're going to do it differently.
Not
We're
smart.
going to give you their email addresses. So if you want to write them a letter of encouragement or anything that you want to email them, you guys can do that. So we can still keep that tradition going. We're adapting to the way things are right now.
So adaptable.
So adaptable. Well, hey, you mind saying a prayer
I would love to.
for us, and then
Yeah.
we'll head out.
All right, let's pray. Father God, we just praise you and we thank you for the way that you love us and you care for us. And Father, there's so many things in our lives that we can see and experience and understand the ways that you're loving and caring for us, Father. But there's just this infinite amount of stuff that goes on in our lives that you're loving and you're caring for us that we don't even know and will never know and we don't even consider, Father. So we just praise you for all those things. And Father, I'm just thankful for our seniors, and I'm thankful for their resilience, and I'm thankful for the peace that you have given them. And I just pray for your blessing over each of them as they set off into this next stage of life. Father, we're thankful for the time that we've had, for them to pour into our lives and for us to pour into their lives, Father. And I just pray that as they go, that you would give them peace and give them a path to walk that brings you honor and glory and brings them the best life that they can have. Father, we just praise you for Jesus, and we thank you for your love and your grace. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. See you guys.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.